Amital yesterday told me about this conference and this meeting. So immediately I went to a place to see what are the questions like I can answer. So I went to Chat GPT. So so I just asked Chat GPT, can you prepare me a seminar for future of AI? So these are the questions and these are the flow that Chat GPT have able to give me. So definition of AI. So all the importance AI today's world. So all these things are available in Chat GPT. So I'm not going to focus on the definition of an AI, the importance of AI, the current state of AI, or the future of AI, where it is heading towards. So the today's topic will be focusing on few industries where I feel like it is basically like I feel AI is getting more traction, AI is getting more importance in 2023. So since we have started adapting this AI technology in 2023, few main industries that we'll be focusing where the AI skills are more used more now. And also I'll be focusing on one particular topic where we are working very closely for the last 2 to 3 years. 2019, I traveled to Israel, Future of AI conference. So I have seen many people are coming forward and speaking about that particular topic that we are going to discuss today. Right now, I was able to see a lot of companies are coming up, a lot of technologies are coming up on this space. So that is our major focus. And just get into the topic, the major industry that I would say AI is getting more importance is healthcare. Many people will tell doctors cannot be replaced by AI. I'm sure that is for sure. So, but to give you a perspective, like I was discussing about my health, like I was in a 1 a.m. call with a client a few weeks back. So my Apple Watch, which I was wearing that time, started alerting me that your heart rate is very high. So when I looked at it, it was 145, and within 5 minutes it's 185. So immediately at 1 a.m. rushed to the doctor, and I was able to diagnose. I was able to take some BP medicines in the 1 a.m. So what happens? The wearable devices is getting part of our life. So AI is getting inside that. Wearable devices will be having a lot of AI built in. Right now, you can do an ECG through your Apple Watch. So all things are happening. And another major thing that I wanted to point out here, like when I visited Israel, that time Corona was not there. But they were thinking and they were working on AI-driven R&D, AI-driven clinical trials. So these are the major industries that is getting more tractions now. As you say, we were able to invent a medicine or antibiotic or anything for Corona in probably 2 years time. Is kind of like a very big achievement that happened because of the AI-based clinical trials. So we were able to run AI-based clinical trials. We were able to get the results. We were able to modify the results and everything. So that is the major part. The next one on healthcare is diagnosis. So we have seen a lot of X-rays, MRI scans, and all others to find out cancer cells, and all others are happening right now. And we were able to see a lot of research papers on last 2-3 years. And right now it started coming into the real world market. Many companies, many hospitals started adapting the radiology or a diagnosis based on AI-based algorithms. So that is the major thing that is coming up in the market. And next one is chatbots, and all others are coming up. So this healthcare industry is completely changing, and it is changing because of the AI. So from the research, from the clinical trials, from the drug predictions, all other things are happening in the healthcare. So that is a major industry. And the next one is finance. So to be frank, I'm in a fintech industry. I have my fintech company. I have my blockchain-based fintech company. So we have data, which is like petabytes of data. Like if you roughly take you might see that if you take a bank statement right now, all our bank statements running 25 pages, 30 pages, because we started making minute small payments right now. So the data that we collect from all these financial transactions, all the inputs that we get, so the data is very high. So the demand for the prediction is very high in this market. Like roughly, if we take if I take a risk management or a credit score, you might have the CIBIL score, you might have seen like only the few 4 to 5 pages of credit document, like wherever I got the loans, wherever I repaid, whether I have not repaid. But there is a big algorithm of AI is running on the back end. So CIBIL score, we will be able to fetch and we will be able to find out whether we can give you a loan or not. So that kind of things, or if your credit card is used in a place which you normally don't use. So these kind of predictions are real time, and the real time is happening through AI. The fraud detection is a major thing, and algorithmic trading. So we are currently into a project where we do arbitrage. So for a crypto-based industry, so we develop an arbitrage platform. So the bot automatically finds those opportunities where they can trade and make a profit. Automatically, the bot executes the trade. So no man is needed. No, because right now many people have traded with their Demat account or anyone. So, or you have your Binance exchange account, you bought by BTC, you traded to Ethereum. So all the transactions are done manually. But right now, because of the algorithmic trading, because of the AI, we were able to find out opportunities where we can make money, and we'll be able to quickly transact the opportunity, and we convert the opportunity to profit. So all these things are happening through AI. So finance industry is completely changing, and because of the AI's penetration inside the market. So the next one is cybersecurity. So it is very important topic. Many people have thought that like cybersecurity is kind of like manual work or many other things, like we need to analyze the data and everything. But right now, cybersecurity is completely changing to AI-based model. I just want to give you an example like Wimbledon, which happened recently. IBM was part of that. So IBM have built AI-based cybersecurity engine. I would say like they have a big platform for AI-based cybersecurity, and they were able to find out cyber attacks, and that is the major use case of security operations center. So that they have built it. And the data privacy, because right now all our data is open. When you come to an internet, your data is open. So the data privacy, how to like mitigate the data privacy, how to mitigate the threats, how to mitigate the things, like because we do a lot of financial transaction online. So all that things, like cybersecurity is taking very major role in 2023. And AI is giving the backbone for the cybersecurity right now. And the next one is automation, automotive industry. So we all know like Tesla cars and other things, like many companies started having their own AI built in, like you take Mahindra, you take any Indian premium providers, they started integrating AI. So connected vehicles is very important. And there's a new concept called M2M. We call it like machine-to-machine communication. So this happens because of the IoT and AI, which is built inside the cars with the internet. So the car can negotiate on the go. So all these things are happening right now. The animation that you're seeing here. So that is the changes that is happening in automotive industry. And automotive industry is also getting adapted with AI, not only on the cars, on even building the automotive. So manufacturing side, building an automotive also, everywhere we are seeing AI. You might have heard about Kia. So Kia car, they were able to use the data science to find which is the needed in the market. So in probably like in 2 years time, they were able to capture the market of SUVs. It's because they have the data from Hyundai, that is a core company, and using the data, they analyze the Indian market. So that is a major role that played in automotive industry. AI played a major role in automotive industry, and it is playing. So these are the trends that I would point you. And in this, I will be taking one topic and we'll be discussing a little more detail for the next 10-15 minutes. Yeah. So the first one is like AI-based text and visual speech recognition, like Chat GPT. You might have heard about Chat GPT. So all are AI-based like text, speech, and all other recognition. Generative AI. Generative AI is also a part of Chat GPT is a part of generative AI. So right now, because of metaverse, because of the NFT space, many creators are using generative AI to create artworks, to create a situation. Like you can just dictate AI that this is the landscape that I'm imagining, and this is what I've seen that I'm imagining. Automatically, a generative AI can create you the scene. So that is where the advancement is happening. So before that, we need to have a creative artist to do all the things to get a scene. But right now, AI can do that. And the another major thing that's happening in AI is like ethical AI. So validating the AI. So we basically like, since we are in the IT industry, we know that game theory. So right now, people are bringing game theory based AI model inside AI to find out making it an ethical AI. So that is a major advancement that is happening in the AI. And the next one is adaptive AI. So adaptive is basically for retail brands. Like if you see Amazon, they have frictionless stores. Like you can just walk into a store, pick up whatever you need, just walk out. Automatically, they will charge from your bank account. So that is what frictionless AI and in-store analytics, all that are happening in adaptive AI. So the next one, which we'll be discussing little more detail, is called edge AI. So that is where IoT is changing. We have heard about IoT, and right now IoT is changing to a new landscape with AI. So that is the focus that we'll be having. So that is called, like, just wanted to tell you, like, internet is previously, like in 2000s, when we had laptops and other things, the internet was in a laptop. Right now, the internet is not in our laptop. It is going beyond that. It is going to a car. It's going to a thermostat. It's going to a store, your shoes. You're going to like even refrigerators and other things. The internet is not going to stay in your laptops anymore. So what happens? So there is a new concept of IoT. It's called IoIT. So what happens? What if things starts to think? So IoT is basically Internet of Things. So what happens? All like actuators, all sensors, and everything is connected to internet, and there is a central server which makes the decisions. So this is what IoT is meant. But right now, the decision making, they are moving from the central servers, and they are keeping in everything. So things started thinking right now. So that is the major role that is happening right now in the market. That is called IoIT. It's called Internet of Intelligent Things. So AI is getting embedded with IoT, and IoT is becoming Internet of Intelligent Things. It's called IoIT, or they call it as edge intelligence. Or a technical term, they call it as edge intelligence. So these two devices, we are very aware. Most of you have these devices in your houses. Like you can ask Alexa, Alexa, can you sing me a song? Alexa, can you play me a song? Alexa, can you answer this mathematical question? So what happens? Like in today's world, we've been advertised that these are smart devices. So, but the truth is, these are not smart devices. What happens? When you ask a question to Alexa or Google, so what happens? Alexa or Google Echo, like Alexa, like they send the request to the cloud server, and the cloud server do the analysis, and it sends the response to the through the speaker, and it will reply to that. So basically, what happens? These devices are not smart devices. These devices are parrots. So whatever the server decides, these parrots will echo, or these parrots will reply the same thing which the server decides. So these are not smart devices. These are called parrot. Okay. So that is the difference that's happening right now in the market. So to give you to run through, like, what if a soil speaks directly to the farmer? So what happens? Right now, we were able to create sensors which can find out that this particular place is not having enough water, and this particular place is having some weeds or anything. So these kind of things can be detected by sensors, which can be implanted in the lands, or it can be on a drone. So when you go to UK or any other places, they have acres and acres of land. So to manage that, they are bringing up a new concept called IoIT based sensors. So these sensors will be inbuilt inside the lands. They'll be putting these sensors inside the land. So automatically, if there is any land is like some places where the water is not sufficient, automatically drip irrigation system will be switched on, and that will be getting the needed water. So if there is any weed or pesticides or anything, so automatically it will be taking the decision. It will be able to convey the decision to the system, and automatically taking decisions. It's not taking the data to the cloud, and the cloud is not taking the decision. So automatically it is happening because these places are in remote areas. So these systems are built in such a way that they can take their own decisions. So this is called IoIT. Okay. So the next concept that we've seen, that like M2M communication, machine to machine communication. So what happens here? So if you roughly take, like, I'm moving in a Tesla car as 100 kilometers per hour, and I wanted to, like, there is a slippery road ahead, and I wanted to make a decision or anything, if there is a data delay or like if I wanted to fetch the data from the server, so what happens before making a decision, the accident will happen. So what happens, like right now they are building IoT based sensors inside. So the sensors can take a decision and then they can communicate or learn from to the servers later. So that is what's happening right now. What you're seeing there, they can do a machine to machine communication, they can do a negotiation on the fly. So that is what's happening right now in this animation that you're seeing. So this is what's changing in the world. And the next one is like healthcare. As I mentioned, my situation a few weeks back. So healthcare initially, like when you see a lot of Tamil movies, like they will say like the vital signs are dropping. Please pray to God. So this is what many doctors will see in Indian movies. So right now, we are not focusing on vital signs. We are focusing on micro vital signs. It is not only like before your body tends to show that the devices that is inside your body or the devices that you're wearing as a wearable device can detect any anomaly and it can find out that this is not proper and it can alert you. So we are not focusing on vital signs, we are focusing on the micro vital signs. This is happening because of IoT devices. So why we are coming from IoT devices to IoT devices, the one is like latency. As I told you, like in a car, like to communicate to the server, if there's a latency or anything, so the decision making will take time and it will be very difficult. So the next one is like bandwidth. As we know, like every day the mobile cost or the data cost is increasing, and like the bandwidth cost like is keep on increasing. So that is the major thing. So because of bandwidth, the cost increases. And another major thing is threat. So since you're communicating the data from your manufacturing, roughly take a manufacturing industry, and they wanted to communicate the data to a server which is outside. So the threat of finding maybe like somebody can yeah, so maybe somebody can take your data out or replace your data, or that is a major problem. And the next one is duplication. Like when you take your laptop as a developer, same code, I have the same code in my D drive, I can same code in C drive. So that is a major issue. Because of the duplication, the cost also increases. And the reliability, because of the threats and sometimes like latency, the data will not be captured properly. The reliability is also getting down. And the complaints right now, like Indian government is bringing up more complaints where it can be stored only in Indian data center. A lot of complaints are coming up. So because of this, we are planning, many companies are planning to move IoT devices to IoT devices. So to give you a background how it works, so the center part is called your IoT device, which is the brain of a sensor. So your sensor is here. This IoT devices will not be on any servers. So this is within the sensors. So the data will be captured by the sensor. Automatically, the IoT devices decides and send an action, because this device, which is inside the sensors, automatically or without any latency, you can send the data action, what action that sensors need to take. So that is the major role of thinking at the edge. So that's the major role of edge intelligence. And what happens, the cloud will not go away. The IoT device or the brain of IoT device will be notifying the cloud what action it has taken, what the data is collected whenever it needed. So if the IoT devices need to learn from the algorithm or update the algorithm or anything, the cloud will push the learning algorithms. So that is what's happening. So these IoT devices will be embedded with sensors. So few IoT devices I wanted to point out. It's called Google Coral. It's kind of a Raspberry Pi, but it's a GPU device. It's kind of an edge GPU device which can handle your AI algorithms, and that much of GPU power it has. So yeah, Google Coral is there, NVIDIA Jetson Nano. So we use the NVIDIA Jetson Nano frequently for these kind of projects. So you can control your cameras. No need of taking all your data to a center where people will be sitting and watching the camera, finding out if anybody is coming in or nothing is happening. So all the things are happening inside your camera itself. So, and this is another Israel-based company. Like this small device or small chip is having AI GPU power that can process AI algorithms and anything. So this device can be embedded with your sensors and make it to an IoT device. So this is what's happening. And two models that we just want to like, since in Anna Nagar we have the roundana, which is built with the cameras and other things. Right now, what happens? The camera captures your data and analyzes it in the cloud. But because of its AI device like NVIDIA Jetson Nano, a camera can be built with these devices, and the analyze can happen inside. This is called ALPR, Automatic License Plate Recognition System. So it can analyze the computer vision. It's based on computer vision. It can analyze the video in real time. It can find out the car number. It can find out the car color. It can find out the car make. It can find out the car traveling speed. So all this data can be stored in a Excel sheet or anything. So roughly, to give you a background, if you are having a like apartment, so in the apartment you have 300 houses, and every time we have seen many police, like they will come to these apartments to find out whether the car traveled these sides and everything. So they have to watch all the videos to find out whether the car traveled. But here, since the AI is embedded inside the camera will be taking all these key elements and keeping it in the Excel sheet. So you just a control F, give a car number, you will be able to find out that whether it traveled, if it is traveled, what time it traveled, all the data can be captured easily. So that is one method. And the next one is like gun controls. So for security systems, they were able to find out, like in schools and other major places, if people are pulling out a gun, so immediately the camera sounds an alarm. No need of informing a police to to come back, to police to mobilize the force and other things. The camera can immediately detect if they find out a camera or it's an assault-based guns or any kind of guns. Immediately they can sound an alarm, so everybody nearby can be alert. Also, it can intimate the police immediately. No need of having human intervention. So that is where IoT devices plays a major role. So I would say welcome to an era of intelligence everywhere. So AI is coming into every places. Intelligence is everywhere. So that is the market. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, that's a whole new idea. Like probably I do not know, many of you would have known, but it's really very new to us, and we kind of understand where the world goes, and it is our basic necessity that we have to keep up with this phase. Otherwise, we'll be left out and we'll be like nowhere near to it. And with a lot of industries taking into AI and ML, so our clients would also start doing it, and we should be in a place where we give them an concept where they can take it from us rather than things come directly from the client. So that's what we are trying to make that today. And so thanks, Solomon Anna.
Yeah,
wonderful session. So the floor is open for any kind of questions. If you have any kind of questions, you can just ask Mr. Solomon.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Thank you, Solomon. What a wonderful presentation. In short time, you were able to put forth.
Just 20 minutes.
And no, you were able to prepare very quickly and give us this initial immersion session. Thank you so much. We learned IoT today, so we can look it up. I have just one question. So the reason the sensors inputs are taken to a central server is because processing these highly computationally expensive algorithms, it will only be possible on the server, right? How can they push it to an edge device like an IoT?
Can they run? That is why we are built with I showed you like NVIDIA Jetson Nano, Google Coral, and Hilo. So these devices are not normal Raspberry Pi devices. Okay. These are TPU based devices. These can roughly, if you take a Jetson Nano, it's 9,000 rupees the device. It can manage 16 live cameras. Okay. One device can manage 16 live cameras. So the market is moving towards that. So they don't want to process everything to the cloud. Yes. So that is a major issue right now that is happening.
Okay, good. So it's not every sensor which was very inexpensive. It's not replacing that. Maybe some 100 sensors will have a local edge processor like a
edge processors. Kind of. It's kind of an edge intelligence, basically like your edge devices, managing your edge devices in the edge location. So each sensor will not be built with maybe with Hilo it can happen. Hilo is a very innovative company in Israel. So because of Hilo chip, it can happen in the future. Right now, they are connecting at least 12 to 15 cameras inside in the edge. server. So that is what happened.
Another question is, because you are close in the market to the actual customers who give you projects, what percentage of projects have changed to asking something like build us something with AI components in it? Like, because you are in the web market for a long time,
Okay.
people ask you for
So,
web applications, something like that, right? Go.
Yeah, so to give you a frank thing, like right now we are working with a project on metaverse. So we are building a metaverse with another company. I have collaborated and we're building a metaverse. So that company, like they are generating all these objects which is in metaverse. Like when you put your VR, the whole world is there. There is a new world there. So these components, like a person walking, a dog walking, so anything that is like we have to predefine and keep it there. So the client is asking whether that can be done through AI. So that is the level of clients. Like they want to bring AI in every project. Like usually, like we can just draw something, keep some elements there here and there, how we do our scenes in the movies. But they wanted to do everything on a generative method. So generative AI is kind of coming in every places. Like if you take chatbots on every website, generative AI is replacing it. So people are also demanding that. I would say like every customer has started asking for that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Solomon.
Thank you, Arun. Any other questions?
Yeah, yes, Kavita. So I have. So hi, Salman. This is Deepan.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
have one question. So first of all, thank you for the wonderful session. So the question is that we have covered the pros of A and ML in different industries or for different segments, right? So what do you think would be the cons of it, or the risk of bringing in A and ML to the society?
Okay. No, I would say like every technology have cons and things. Like if you take internet, so many people have very reluctant to come to internet, but right now everything's happening on internet. So I would say AI is having its cons. Like basically, like you sometimes like it can give you wrong data, it can give you wrong information. So many people like in healthcare, if you roughly take it on a healthcare, it can give you wrong information or other things. I would say like it is not replacing humans. It is going to support humans. So that is the important aspect of AI. So right now we all think that Indiran is going to come up and it is going to rule us. So it is not going to happen. It's going to support us in every areas. Roughly, if we take in our fintech industry, like finding a credit card fraud detection is very important. We cannot do that manually because everywhere the transaction are happening online right now. Everybody is used to online transaction. Previously, like online transaction, very limited. We can find out the loopholes or anything in the manual way. But right now, it cannot be happen through manual way. AI is needed. The same way, like in the Wimbledon or any cyber like the issues wherever happening. So this AI is needed. So it's going to support us. It's not going to replace us. So when you see in a bigger perspective that whether you're going to replace us, that is a bigger issue. But I would say it's not going to happen.
Okay, so and also, what risk do you think it would bring to the environment? Like, in terms of connected cars, so in order for the cars to communicate with one another, we would have to have multiple, towers installed for the communication, right? So, so what do you think would be the environmental impact for this?
I would say like already we have done that. Like 5G and industries is already there in the market. AI is not going to change that and bring it new way of communication or other things. Since we already have 5G networks, we already have 4G networks, AI is going to ride on that.
Okay. Thank you, Solomon. So that makes sense. Yep.
Thank you, Deepan. Thank you, Salman Nana.
Actually, I was asking about already, cloud providers, they have given a few of services called like.
Anna, are you there, Anna?
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I'm there.
He's there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to answer that question, like if you wanted to learn, I would say like don't take these cloud services to implement, because these are like 3 lines, 5 lines code that you can implement a computer vision programming inside. So don't do that. But if you are integrating for a client application based on the client's need, we will do that. For the learning purpose, absolutely not.
So are you saying the managed services provided by Azure, AWS, that's not to be used? Are you saying that?
Yeah. For the learning. So if you are doing for an end customer that you're integrating, and if they don't want to develop on their own, they don't have the cost and other things, for that alone, we'll be using these services because we are paying them and we'll be using the services. For learning purpose, we will not use it because once you learn computer vision, integrating AWS service, recognition service is easy, like just a 5 lines or 10 lines of code. So you better go with Python, and that is a major thing.
Adding one more no technical stack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But right now, like even in .NET also, there are a lot of modules with the AI and other things for AI. So I would say like you can also explore those.
Okay.
Can we share a few of those tools, Solomon? That will be
Yeah, I
helpful.
can just search, and because we are Python, we are Python developers. I can search for .NET because I know the EC group is fully on .NET. I can search for that and I can share.
Okay. That would really help for. Yeah, thank you, Solomon. Yeah.
Anybody, any other questions for Solomon? I'm sure in the next few days, we will have more questions for you, Solomon.
No, yeah.
It'll keep coming towards you.
Okay. So another thing, like we learned basically, like if we have a project, probably a ERP application, I will tell my team to evaluate how we can bring AI. Like if you are into a project, you are working on a client project, maybe have a session like 20 minutes, how you can build AI in this product. So that will help you to understand, maybe like in future, if the client is coming and asking, you will already be prepared for that.
Okay.